from your life transformation experience, give me some basic example.
So I think it can be as clear and as straightforward as, do you want to get off prescription medication? Do you want to have release of stress and anxiety? Do you want to live life more simplified? Do you want to live longer? Do you want to have less burden? Do you want to have less guilt and shame? I mean, it can be at that level. These are the benefits.
Well, what do you, from your experience, okay, I always ask this, from your experience, what are you proud of? What resonates with you?
My experience is transcendent to the next level. My experience is having the ability to take the action, right? Not wanting to talk on my ride home from the airport. It was uncomfortable, and I just felt like, if he wants to know about my trip, he'll ask me how my trip is. He doesn't want to know, just zip it. Keep my mouth shut. Mm-hmm. Not worth it. I didn't even know what to say anyhow if he even asked me.
No, let's say if he did ask you, what was so special about your trip that, you went all the way over there for 9 days?
I think what was the most was I went with the thought that I was going to work on acceptance and expectations, right? I told you that 2 days before I came. Mm-hmm. This is my biggest problem. I had no fucking clue until we sat in your living room and we looked at my pills that I was not going to be taking prescription medicine. I had no idea. But I think it was that place, like we talked about with the addict in the bottom. Not that I was on Skid Row, but when you're willing to do anything, when you're just willing. When I was willing to just walk through the experience and not question. We joke, right? The whole time I'm there, we joke. I say, fuck you, High-Dye. Fuck you, my fucking head hurts. Fuck you, my head hurts, fix it. Mm-hmm. But I was willing to walk through even from the first time I threw up, I was in acceptance of it.
Yeah.
It was extremely physically painful, but very joyful when we were at the hot spring and I was puking my brains out. Releasing. So yeah, content, yes, is you know what we say, content is king, right? Content is king. But I think it's really thinking about your unique value proposition. What can you give to someone that no one else can?
Okay. I need to think about that question, and then we'll meet again, because I don't know what it is, here in the work that we do here. We're in service for people. So we don't sit there and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to try to fix that. I'm here in service of the needs.
That's perfect. Service. Number one. We're in service.
Yeah.
We're in service.
Yeah, that's it.
for the greater good, not your greater good, not my greater good, the greater good.
Yeah, and then we wait,
Perfect.
and we wait for things to like download into us to share with you. And I tell you, some of the stuff we download is like real time. Like I'll go to bed that night going, okay, shoot, how am I going to help her deal with this? And then boom, next morning it'll come to us, or it comes to us in sleep, or we transmit it to you in sleep, and then you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I'm doing great. And the night when you're throwing up and you're really sick, and yeah, you're right. In Batur, the girl is so funny. She's like, no, this girl's really sick, and and the other girl is like, no, haidai sa mangku, just let him do his thing, because she came out looking at me like, no, this girl is really sick. And so that night, when I went to bed, I am that's why I started looking into how do I fix people from remote. How can I send it? Because I told you the story. I did that with my daughter Jazz, and then I felt like that night I did it with you. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna send energy to. So I'm very interested in looking into those type of remote healing kind of strategy that apparently I feel like I have this ability. So, yeah, like I said, we're in service. We don't know, like Chalk Tara said, we're an autopilot.
That's the key message. That's your key message.
Okay.
Your key message is service.
We call it ngaya in Bali.
At the high level, the key message is service.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Jazz on the plane, and I started to cry. Thinking about the ability to save her life. It's like, yeah, it just. I think, though, we need the connection first, and then maintenance is remote healing. I couldn't have done this work with you through WhatsApp through the entire journey. It's not the same experience. I had to live with the rats and the mosquito.
Bonus.
and pooping and have poop in my butt and the whole experience. Like I was telling Stefanie, and I don't want to talk much about my trip to people, but I was telling Stefanie, I said, I suffered for a day and a half with a migraine. Violently vomiting, pooping, and I said the mosquitoes were what was taking me down. I said, Ỉrene and I went for a beautiful walk to this nice restaurant I was able to eat for the first time since I had been there, and I'm thinking, we have to go to the doctor. We have to go to the doctor because I'm having a serious mosquito problem here. And I told her, I said, my body is bruised and red, and yeah. But I had to have that experience. I couldn't do that on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that on a Zoom seminar.
Yeah.
I had to itch
Experience
myself until I bruised my body to realize how powerful the mosquito was over me. The mosquito.
You will miss them.
The mosquito almost took me down. The mosquito almost took me down. I'm telling you, it's like that's where I need bullet points. I need bullet points of what is your, what. We don't even have to use the word strategy. It's like, what is the primary purpose? What is the primary purpose? for you as the teacher and for them as the student, right? So maybe that becomes the overarching strategy. And then we talk about, what you talked about is like tactical, it's like we go through strategy, messaging, branding, overarching goals and objectives, and then we get into content. Content is like, again, what draws people to come to our event is the content. Why do they want to come to the event? Because they want to change their life. What are the benefits for them to come to the event? That's how, your content is what you use to market and promote. Ida, you know that it's, Feature is what the product has. Benefits is what you get from using it.
No,
right?
okay, but
Feature and benefit.
okay, so energy, consciousness, transcendence, ascension. These are all the buzzword or the keyword. When at the end of all this is just energy work. Which one from your experience do you think is it should be focused on? See, so I still don't understand. Here.
I think it needs to be your unique value proposition. What's your unique value what are they going to get from you or from this experience that they can't get anywhere else, right? That's why we want them to participate, sign up and pay money to participate in the experience. What are you giving them that they can't get anywhere else? Your unique value proposition.
Well, what do you think it is?
There's no guarantee. You can't, from a legal perspective, you can't say, I'm going to get you off prescription medication for the rest of your life because something happens to them and they die. You can be held liable, right? Mm-hmm. So it's whatever the value proposition would be as far as like, I can help you to move to the next level with the addiction to prescription medicine. I can help you, like I said, it's never, you're never cured in recovery, right? Just like you said, you need to do your compassion. You need to do your energy work. You need to do your like this is a lifetime thing. Don't just sign up for a 2-week or 10-day course and we're done.